What is up, everybody? J Nell here with my UFC 225 recap video. It happened last night. It was incredible. There was 2 belts on the line. It was from Chicago. I made 7 predictions. The pre-prelims had Joseph Benavidez versus Sergio Pettis, or should I say Pettis versus Benavidez, because Pettis won that fight. The prelims were stacked. Had Alistair over him, or should I say, I'll get to that because I actually made a prediction on that. So let's just get into it. I made 7 predictions and I got 4 out of 7, so over 500. And first up on the prelims, I chose Claudia Gadelha to beat Carla Esparza, and she did. I believe it was a split decision, and it came to a hell of boos. So even myself, I was like, because Carla won round 3, we all know that. She got the 3rd win there. She was sharper with her boxing. She was able to take her down. She opened her base up. So not enough for Carla to win that round by 2, but Carla definitely won round 3. So even I was left at that lasting impression like, I think Carla won. Round 2, I think we all agree, that was Claudia's round. She was able to take her down for the majority of that round and mount some serious ground and pound, although Carla did cut her from the bottom with some elbows, but still, we all agree, round 2, Claudia. So it was really about round 1, so let's talk about that. So round 1, they're filling each other out. I feel that it's kind of even, but that Claudia is getting the better of the stand-up game because she's landing kind of the cleaner shots, but again, nothing too devastating. Then there's she takes her down. Carla pops back up. Carla lands the most devastating shot of the entire fight. Has Claudia doing the chicken leg dance and then takes her down, mounts some serious ground and pound for about 30 seconds. Claudia reverses the situation. Carla gets back up. Claudia takes her down again. Claudia mounts some serious ground and pound for like a minute. Carla gets back up. Claudia takes her down again, and then mounts a little less devastating ground and pound, but still some serious ground and pound. Carla manages to get back up. Claudia takes her down, or gets attacks with a guillotine to close out that round, and actually had it kind of in there a little bit. She pops back up, but she ends the round with that attacking position. So other than that one blow, which was the most devastating blow of the entire night, didn't knock her on her butt, but had her doing the chicken leg dance. Other than about those 30 seconds of Carla winning that round, the rest of that round belonged to Claudia. She was winning the better of the stand-up game before the takedowns happened. There were 3 takedowns there where she had good ground and pound, and she ended the round attacking with the guillotine. Round 1 went to Claudia. In my mind, that is my decision. Claudia won the fight. Let me know what you feel and why. Now, next fight, I did not get this pick. I chose Alistair Overeem to beat Curtis Blades. I was trying to see where Curtis was. Curtis, I think he might be living up to the hopes we may have as this new up-and-comer. I believe he's 26 years old. He's a new, slimmer type of heavyweight. They get in there. He was able to do enough on the feet to disguise his takedowns, take Alistair down and ground and pound and open him up. There was a moment, I believe, in the 2nd round where Alistair landed a 2-piece that really wobbled Curtis, and he was able to mount some ground and pound, but Curtis was able to survive that and get back on top. I think it was 2 rounds to 1. All the judges agree. That's the pick I didn't get. He wants next either Francis Ngannou or the champion. So who do you think should be next for Curtis Blades? Now, on to the main event, and I did not get this opener. I was hoping. I chose CM Punk to beat Mike Jackson, and he did it. He got his butt whooped by Mike Jackson, and I knew kind of early on. He did manage to get a takedown at the beginning, and we were like, oh my gosh, that first round was a little bit kind of competitive, even though the stand-up game, you can clearly see the boxing skill of Mike Jackson. He has bunch of amateur wins, and I think he's like 4-0 professionally with the boxing, and you saw that. You saw the jab, you saw the crisper movement, you saw the footwork and all of that. So he just beat Punk up. And when Punk took him down in, I believe, the 2nd round, he got the top position and was just toying with CM Punk. Actually, it was a little borderline disrespectful. Actually, I would have rathered him just finish the fight. I would have much rather Mike Jackson just finish CM Punk. I thought that would have been more professional and better look for him. You let CM Punk survive the fight. It went to a decision. That looks bad for you. So anyway, Jackson won the fight, and him and CM Punk were cut from the UFC, so I'm not going to ask who would you like him to fight next. Next up, I got this pick, and this is the one I'm truly surprised by. I chose Tai Tuivasa to beat Andre Arlovski, and he did. Now, the first round was super close, but I actually thought Andre edged it out. Tai clocked him kind of early. I kind of figured that would happen. He would stun him. Actually, he knocked him on his butt. Andre was able to get back up, and with slicker boxing, more measured, he kind of measured his cardio better. He even took Tui down, but that first round was close. I will give you that. So I'm guessing the judges felt that was ties. The 2nd round for me, was Andre's. Andre took him down multiple times, ground and pound, was pressing the action, had Ty fighting off his back foot. Ty looked tired. Second round, Andre Arlovski. Third round, I think Ty got his second wind. I think he edged it out by landing the more powerful shots when he did, taking more out of Andre again when he landed. Although Andre again still, I think we got to look at the stats and see who outlanded each other in that third round. But it felt like Ty won the third round. I will admit to you, I am going to watch that fight again. Either way, I felt like Andre won. Split decision to Ty, so I got that pick. Let me know who you thought won and why, especially if you disagree. Now, next fight, I got this pick too. I chose Holly Holm to beat Megan Anderson, and I was like, you know what, she gotta show me something. I'm not a believer, and she's huge. I didn't realize how big that girl was. I do like that she's a true 145er. Holly Holm worked her, and we saw lots of takedowns from Holly Holm. She won every single round. She opened her up. She even tried some submissions. It was a really complete game, and you saw her moving forward and learning new skills. It was nice to see that from Holly. She looked good. She had some personality in the fight afterwards, and the whole night. It was a really good all-around performance for Holly Holm. And she says, of course, she wants her bantamweight belt back, but again, she still has that little thing in her where she wants to challenge herself and maybe take on Cyborg again. And that there's what, 4 people in the featherweight division, women's featherweight division. So who would you like to see Holly Holm fight next? Stay at 145, prepare for Cyborg, go back to 135. Please let me know what you think Holly Holm should do. But this was an all-around great performance in the ring. Outside the octagon, you know how I get on her about her personality. I thought she was great on the mic afterwards. All-around great performance from Holly Holm. Gotta say. Now, co-main event, I lost this pick. And new UFC welterweight interim champion Colby Covington. He successfully got the 5-round decision against RDA Rafael dos Anjos. I don't know how the rounds broke down, but man, I said that Rafael, you needed to be first. You need to have this in space, and that's the 2 things he could not do. No matter how you feel about the man, like him or love him, or like him or hate him, he can fight. He pressed that action, the wrestling action. I actually said I think his cardio is going to hold over 5 rounds, and it did. There was a few times where Rafael did land some shots. He even cut him open a little bit. I believe the 4th round is the round that Rafael actually won, where he took Colby down and got some ground and pound. And I actually thought he should have went to that a little bit earlier. There were some kicks involved earlier, but then he stopped that because Colby was able to threaten with the takedown a lot. He didn't really, he wore on Rafael as the fight gone on. Rafael's known for his cardio. Colby drug that energy right up out of him. In the first few rounds, he couldn't take him down as much, but he just weighed on him against the fence with some dirty boxing inside. He would come at him swinging, whether he hit or not, but do enough just to get close to him. And he has a great chin, so he could walk through. He didn't respect Rafael's power. He walked through Rafael's shots, got close to him, got up against the cage, and would just wear on him. And eventually, as the fight went on, he would start taking him down more and more, And even though he wasn't holding him down and ground and pound, you could see the energy weighing from Rafael, always on offense or defense, always on defense, always back against the cage. He couldn't hold the center of the octagon at all. It was impressive. He is the interim champ. He's the interim champ. Who do you think he should fight next? I think it has to be Tyron. Someone let me know about Tyron's timetable as far as when he's going to be back. He, of course, he got on the mic, talked cash money-ish, saying that he's got the real belt, and he still disrespected RDA even after he dominated the fight and got the unanimous decision. He still called him a filthy little animal. So it's like, I'm trying to give it up to you, man. But even afterwards, he the champ. Who do you think he should fight next? Let's move on. Main event, and I got this pick, and well, not and still, this was not for the belt, but the winner, UFC middleweight champion, Mr. Robert Whitaker. He beat Yoel Romero for the 2nd time to a hail of boos. It was a split decision, very close fight, excellent fight. Let's get into it. So the first 2 rounds, Robert Whitaker, he just outstruck him, outpointed him, head, body, head, had Yoel on the defense the whole time, pressed the pace, had him up against the cage the whole 9, and Yoel had his shots, he had his times. He didn't really go for too much takedowns. I think that weight cut took a lot out of him, even though he missed it. Still, he had to be helped back to his hotel room, so he kind of gassed a little bit early. So the first 2 rounds went to Robert Whitaker, but the third round, is definitely the best round I've seen all year. It is one of the best rounds I've ever seen in my life. We're into it about 15 seconds. Romero connects, I believe it is, with a right. Boom! Knocks Whitaker on his butt. Crowd goes wild. He's on him now. Robert is surviving. He gets back up. Yoel's on him. Pushes him up against the cage. He's combinations, uppercuts, two-piecing him. Robert is surviving. He's sliding up against the cage. Yoel's chasing him down the whole nine. Then Robert gets a little bit of space. Boom, lands an elbow. Oh, the elbow prompts Yoel to go for a takedown. Yoel goes for the takedown, pushes him up against the cage. In order to get him back off of him, he gets an underhook, gets Yoel to stand back up. Boom, another elbow. Boom, another elbow. Gets some space. Yoel has another shot. He's out of again. There's blood dripping. Oh my! Then there's a moment where they stall for like 30 seconds, and you're like, yo, you got him up against the cage, and you have his back. Stop stalling, but he's too tired to really take advantage of it. But he had Whitaker reeling. They get back into space, and then Whitaker lands a kick flush to the face. Bow! Stuns Romero. He stumbles forward. He lands another shot, but he gets him up against the cage, and then Yoel starts teeing off against him again. They're moving around the cage, teeing off on each other, but he had Robert on the defense on his back most of the time. The round, there was so much action in the round. There was like a minute left, and I was like, we're still in the same round. We're still in the same round. One of the best rounds I've ever seen in my entire life. Incredible. Now, Yoel won that round in my opinion. Do I think he won the round by 2? I'm not sure. He definitely won that round. But you had the 3 elbows plus the spinning elbow off his back. His back's on the cage. He timed a spinning elbow, which connected flush, and the kick to the face that connected flush as well. So since Robert had some very devastating shots of his own, of course none dropped Yoel, but stunned him, wobble-kneed him, made him force him to go for the wrestling, changed his plan. And then there was that moment in the middle where they kind of stalled a little bit, where Yoel could have took advantage, but he was too tired. So all of that, to me, I think Robert got enough of it to not have Yoel win that round by 2. But he won that round. Round 4. Oh, by the way, he goes back to his corner, Robert does, and says, my right hand's broken. Round number 4. Broken hand at all, and you can tell it's clear. He probably threw that punch. I don't think he threw the right hand at all. In fact, he was just throwing the elbow, and then jabbing him up with the left, and doing a lot of kicks, lateral kicks to Yoel's lead leg, stiffening that leg, hyperextending that leg, tearing that leg up, quite frankly. And he pointed his way to winning round number 4, even broken hand at all. Round number 5. And this is the other round where people saying that Yoel won by 2. But I went back and watched it several times and looked at the time. So the first minute of the round, Robert's actually kind of winning that first minute of the round. He's outpointing him. He's again hyperextending that leg, jabbing him up. He's winning that first little minute of the round. And then Yoel, short shot on the inside, boom, knocks Robert on his butt again. He's on him. 2 pieces of, uppercuts, pushing him up against the fence. Oh, no, excuse me. Drops Whitaker. Whitaker immediately goes for the wrestle. So Yoel is on his back. Whitaker is hiding his head underneath Romero. That way Romero can't hit his head. And this is happening for about a minute though. Yoel's beating up his body. He's trying to do elbows to the side of the head. At one point, there's a spin move that happened because Whitaker tries to take him down, but it doesn't work. He is getting ragdolled for about a minute and a half by Romero. Okay, that's what happens. And then Romero again, I guess he gassed out. He had his back up against the cage. They're both standing, kind of hunched over. And then there's just stalling. There's no action. He's no longer molly-whopping Robert Whitaker. He's got the dominant position, but they're dropping the hands a little bit. Then they're just kind of resting. They're both like, because they're so tired. So, and that stalling happens I gotta hurry up, for about a minute. And then the last minute of the round, they're going back and forth. It's kind of even. That round definitely goes to Yoel. But again, I can't say by 2 because the real dominance was only for about a minute and a half. And the first minute, Robert was winning. The last minute was kind of even. Go back and watch it. So I agree with the decision. I think Robert won. Let me know your picks, all the controversy, what you think. Injury updates, follow me on Snapchat, Facebook. I'll have 50-second predictions or recaps on the event. I gotta hurry, I'm sorry. Subscribe, like, talk to me, take care, and goodbye.